I think he's coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you mind that we call you Yoda? I think he doesn't. It's like that's it.
No.
That's totally fine. It's kind of like, yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
What goes with that? I like what that means.
Yeah.
Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, November 8th, 2015. Ra here in the Lynn-Body-Mind. Yoda, the person we're referring to as Yoda, in the Jamie-Body-Mind. Other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension. Many of our teammates are new to our organization this last several days.
That's true.
But all of us are in the physical dimension and all in the subatomic levels of the physical dimension from the perspective of the spirit world viewers. The deadlines we have been assigned by wiser minds above begin exactly a week from today and continue in a nested string from a week from today, November 15th, to January 17th, 2017. That is the date that wiser minds have assigned for us to have a collective restart occur in order to be able to have a new beginning, a fresh start, and manifest the divine plan. As always, our background intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan and meet the deadlines that have been assigned to us by wiser minds above. And with that, it begins. Someone is asking me what areas of our community, and he means the Search for Truth community and the Team Awakening community.
That's true.
What aspects of our community need help the most? And I know that control room has been severely abused and needs help, definitely needs help.
That's true.
I also know that in Thing 1 there is a prison facility that we've been referring to as Guantanamo Bay, and that it houses the nature realm's leaders who had been searching for truth and practicing that, and that they have been incarcerated as thanks for searching for truth.
That's true.
Which implies that someone doesn't want truth to be revealed.
That's true.
And I don't believe that someone is Pan.
No.
We have many of the nature realm's presences out of that prison, but there are many, many more still in there.
That's
and
true.
That's an important push. But if I had to pick only one thing, I would say, well, obviously we go with the control room. Yoda, if I have it right, you spent most of the overnight this last night working in control room. Is that true?
I spent a good deal of the overnight working in control room. Yeah, that's true.
Is there anything just off the top of your head that you noticed that needs to be done to get that place to work like it's supposed to?
I noticed that she's cluttered. There's a lot of stuff in there that gets in the way of machines that could actually be helpful or tools that could actually be helpful.
And we have tried so many times to clear this stuff away. How old is it? Is it fresh? Are we accumulating fresh clutter?
Most of it seems fresh.
Oh dear.
Most of it doesn't seem old. There aren't cobwebs, not a lot of dust.
What's happening? What are we doing? We're clearly doing something wrong. First, let me just back up and check the pasture fence. I'm assuming that all of these have our fingerprints on them.
That's true.
It's us. We're the ones causing the problem, right?
Yes. Well, one thing I noticed is that most of the devices that shouldn't be in the control room but are in the control room feel very much that they're supposed to be there. Almost none of them feel ambivalent. Almost none of them feel like they're not supposed to be there.
The devices themselves are sure they're supposed to be there.
Are sure they're supposed to be there.
And how does control room feel about those devices?
She wants them out.
Ah. And your assessment is that the devices actually do not belong there?
That's my story. That they're hurting.
Ah.
And a lot of them don't feel like bad folks. This just isn't where they're supposed to be, and they're getting in the way.
Now, would they be useful in Thing 1? I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying here we have
occurred to me.
tools, and we have two hot projects. One is control room, the other is thing one. Maybe.
Some of them might be useful in thing one.
Let's just do a little sorting exercise.
Yes.
Before we assume that these tools aren't useful to us anywhere, let's intend to just call them to their right place and hold as our awareness that we have projects active in thing one and thing two. And of course, soon we really need to start in thing three as soon as we have some staff available.
That's true. Some of them do feel to be like they're sorting out.
It does feel like that.
And a lot of them are clinging on by their fingernails. It's possible there is higher status in being in the control room, and so they want to be in the control room, even if they know in their heart that that's not where they're supposed to be.
Status just comes up over and over again, doesn't it?
It's definitely the coolest place to be, if you're a non-physical device.
What do they think is comparable?
Maybe Matilda, actually. It's possible.
Well, Matilda's a physical presence.
That's true.
She's the soul of a physical presence.
That's true. Machines, they feel very affiliated with machines.
Well, can they see how Matilda is even cooler than they are, because not only does she have the machine soul that they are, but she has a machine body.
Oh, yes.
And can they see that Matilda has a whole big group of other physical presence machines who are joining her energetically?
Yes, they can see that. And they agree that that is cool.
That is cool. Would they like to explore a possibility, which we don't know whether or not this is a good idea, but if we don't form a theory and experiment with it, we're never going to make any progress here.
That's true.
Would they like to explore the possibility of working with Matilda and the other machines and equipment?
That feels good.
I feel as though many of them are dropping down.
Boom,
boom, boom. So now let's just check with Matilda, because if first it has to actually be a good idea, but my perception is it's coming in from wiser minds above.
That's true.
But second, Matilda has to be okay with it. If she's not okay with it, we have to resolve that situation.
That's true.
Matilda. Oh, she
seems I'm okay with this.
Happy with this.
Yes.
This is new and
exciting.
Yes, new and exciting.
That's true.
Okay, so remember the energy sorting tools, and when we can simply draw each of us into our own right place, it's a lot easier to discern what it is we're supposed to be doing.
That's true.
I feel as though those non-physical tools are spreading out throughout that big room where the machines are located. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
Let's move our focus back to control room. Those who intend to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above, to specifications in every moment to the center, all others flung away. And I see splatting things on the walls of the control room. Well, clearly all of those things don't intend to do the work as assigned by wiser minds above.
That's true.
So, where is Ushi, the meltdown machine?
I feel her there.
Just draw everything that hit the walls, especially if it has my face.
Especially if it has my face.
Drawing everything that hit the walls into Ushi. And Ushi, while we're at it, will you melt me?
Will you melt me? Below frontier still feels bad.
Still being poisoned.
Yes.
The life events haven't changed, but there does seem to be some immunity building to the poison. And there seems to be, I would call it pride in their compatriots who died and have been rebirthed into larger subatomic levels.
That's true.
They just think that is amazing and wonderful. That their friends are now standing shoulder to shoulder with Pete and Anemone, holding space as into the line outpost and below into the line outpost, where Asha is teaching in the classroom facilities. It's kind of like the classroom facilities are into the line outpost and below into the line outpost.
That's true.
And the practicum areas are in frontier and below frontier.
That's true.
But it's all a training facility.
That's true.
And Asha's running it. And there are plenty of nature realms, I guess security guards around.
That's true.
Pete, what's going on? He's
so sad.
He's sad. He's talking about how it was working with Pan.
Yes.
And he had felt so hopeful about it.
That's true.
And he felt special, kind of like,
I've been chosen.
I've been chosen. That's the
true.
feeling. And Anemone also had that same way. I've been chosen.
We're the lucky ones.
We're the lucky ones. And poor Pan is so stuck in the fantasy.
That's true.
That he, as of now, still doesn't seem to notice they aren't there.
That's true.
And that kind of breaks Pete's heart. I think that's the last straw.
That could be.
Everything else was bad enough, but he doesn't even notice that we aren't there. He's just living in a fantasy of us.
That's true. We left, we've been gone, and he doesn't even look up.
He doesn't even notice. It's actually true that nothing matters more than the constant presence of truth. Pan is such a good person.
That's true.
Best of the best. And he doesn't even notice that his physical hosts are gone. He's just floating completely in a fantasy now. I don't think there's anything that we can do about that right now, Pete.
No, it doesn't seem to be what we're supposed to do.
No. There's no instruction whatsoever to do anything with Pan right now, but the instructions are loud and strong about clearing Guantanamo Bay, clearing the prison where political prisoners fundamentally are being held.
That's true. Of the nature realms.
Yes, the nature realms political prisoners are being held in this place we're calling Guantanamo Bay.
That's true.
In Thing 1.
And Pete has big feelings of belonging to the nature realms and kind of responsibility.
Yes. And it's really wonderful for you to hold space, because here is where they are being trained. The nature realms presences who want to know what's true are being trained in the Search for Truth facilities, of which you have been a part, and you are once again a part.
There, now he's starting to let go of some of that sadness.
This is really important work, Pete.
That's true.
It's really important work.
That's true.
And it's not all on your shoulders, because those rebirthed below frontier presences are sharing the load with you.
That's true. Asha here. Pete, there are two basic things that might be helpful for you right now. The first is, what happened with Pam is a life event. And like all life events, we can either choose to use them as excuse to give up, or as motivation to do what we're supposed to do.
Feels like Pete is choosing motivation. Good for you, Pete.
There we go.
Onward, onward to the goal. All beings living their soul plans, creating lives of joy and worlds that work.